go. Should be working. Looks like it's working. Okay. Go. Okay, we are live. Okay. We're going to be looking at the creation kit today and everything that kind of goes into that. Before we do that, though, a few things. You're going to want to go into your mods folder and your mod projects, and then find your mod and do yourself a huge favor. Inside of your loose files, one, make sure that your files are structured this way. You've got data, and then you should have geometries, materials, meshes, and textures. And then inside the geometries folder, you have your geometry files we made in the last video, the materials that we made a little bit back, not too far back, but the meshes, including the collision meshes that we made that are linked to those geometry files. So however many geometry files you have, you should have that many collision meshes if you did it the same way that I do. And then make sure you have all your textures. Once you make sure that this is all set up, you're going to want to take your data folder, right click on it, and then copy it from your mod projects, and then you'll want to go into program files x86 Steam, Steam apps, common, Starfield, and then paste your data folder. And then inside of your data folder, I've already done this, you should have there's my 3 geometry files right here. Let's see, materials. There's the Outrider materials right there. Meshes. There's all of my Outrider meshes right there. And then textures are right here. See, so everything's inside of my Starfield directory. And you're going to want to do that before you launch the creation kit. Okay, so make sure all your stuff's inside of your Starfield folder. The data folder, all that kind of stuff. Just make sure it's in there. Okay. And then you can go to Steam, download the creation kit. As long as you have Starfield, you should be able to. And it should automatically detect where everything is. And then you can play it. And then when you do, this will pop up. Now, I had this already preloaded just because Creation Kit can take a while to load. When it first loads, you'll get a whole bunch of different windows that all pop up, and it's going to look weird. Well, what you can do, you can actually move your windows around, and what I would recommend is putting your object window over here. We already went over this a little bit, but this is specific for Creation Kit, so I kind of want to go over this a little bit more. My object window's over here. The cell window is right here. That's this big white one. And then I've got my layers window down here right underneath. The cell view is right here. This is linked to this, by the way, so like whatever's in here will be in here as well. and then the show and hide menu right here. So just make sure that you have that all set up, and then you can launch the creation kit. Now, first thing we're going to want to do inside of the creation kit is we're going to want to go over here to load master plugin files. Click on that, and then we have this little starfield.esm. Click on that. What we're going to do is we're going to load, this will load all of the assets from Starfield. And then if there's anything else that you're going to need for your mod, like we will need the ship render framework eventually, but we can add that on later if we want. So that's, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add it on because I know I'm gonna need it. I need this for the for putting in ships onto vendors, existing vendors. So we're gonna go ahead and get both just because I know I'm gonna need them. And then we will hit OK, and this little white box will show up. Just leave it alone. It's fine. It'll do its thing and load, and it's gonna take it a sec because it's trying to load literally the entirety of the game. Like the whole game is trying to load right now. Not the game, but the assets for the game. It's loading all that information, and so it can take it a sec. So creation kit itself takes a sec to load and boot up, and then this also takes a sec to load and boot up. But I wanted to show y'all like how to load your files. If you're not using anything, all you need is just Starfield, just the base Starfield ESM. That's all that you really need. Like I said, because this is a spaceship and the way that I like to do it, I need the ship vendor framework. That's just kind of how it goes. Ooh, I just realized. Well, that's unfortunate. I just realized this is a special ship. Ugh, my bad. I did not want to load up the ship vendor framework because it's probably people are gonna want it in Star Wars Genesis. Oh, I totally forgot. Man, that's so annoying. I cannot believe that I did that. That was dumb. Oh, this is weird. Okay, hang on. I kind of don't want this to finish loading. I cannot believe I did that. That was so dumb. Yeah, I know. Creation Kit isn't responding in the task. It's fine. Hang on. I gotta relaunch Creation Kit because I messed up. Normally that would have been the case, it would have been fine, but I totally forgot. That's on me. I forgot this is a Star Wars ship, and I'm going to add the ship vendor framework plugin. I'm going to add at the very end because of that. Ah! That is so annoying. Now I got to wait for this thing to load, and it's probably going to take forever. The dog comes over here because he's all upset now and worried about me. It's okay, buddy. I know. I just made a little mistake. It's alright. Yeah, so this is what I mean when I says it takes a minute to load. Just give it a sec, it'll load. That was so dumb. It's fine. I won't do it again, so we can load it up and it'll be fine. Part of the problem of doing things live instead of recording is you can't go back and like redo it unless you do a completely new live stream. So y'all are getting to see all the mistakes I make as we make them. It's fantastic. No, Titus. He wants to get in my lap. That's what he's wanting right now, and he cannot because I am streaming. I know, buddy. You're a good boy. No, don't get in my lap. No lap dogs allowed right now. No. No, no. Stop. Okay, so it's reloaded. So we are gonna go back to our little folder, and we're just gonna load Starfield. We're not gonna get the ship vendor framework right now because I'm gonna make 2 separate plugins. One that's standalone with the ship vendor framework, and one that is meant to be used with Star Wars Genesis. So, yeah. We're gonna click on OK. And again, you'll get this little white box. That's fine. It's loading. It's trying to load up all of this stuff. I would not recommend clicking off of this. I mean, you can. At this point, you can. Do not click on anything when it's trying to first load. But clicking off of this, you've got this little white box here. Normally doesn't do anything. It normally doesn't break. Creation Kit's a bit of a picky program. It's very touchy. So just keep that in mind when you're doing stuff, because if it doesn't work for some reason, well, there you go. Do apologize for the wait. I blame Bethesda. I cannot do anything to speed this up. At least not that I'm aware of. It's gonna take it a hot minute. By the way, another good place to go if you're wondering how to do this. I'm not gonna show y'all everything that I know. I'm just gonna be showing y'all what we need for this mod in specific, because I'm actually working on a mod as we're going through. If y'all want a more detailed look at these kinds of things, there's a guy, J. Ramos Works. He's got a whole Creation Kit series that he has done, and it covers a lot of stuff. But he did not cover Blender or the material add-on or anything like that, and I don't think he did anything in terms of like adding anything in. At least not last time I checked. That's kind of why I wanted to do this as like an add-on to what he had done. Because all of his stuff was just vanilla assets and base game stuff. He never added on any new items or ships, clothing, spacesuits, weapons, none of that. Whereas all of my modding, for the most part, is adding on or adding in new stuff. So yeah, and this one's going to be fun too, because I'm going to try to add in a new weapon into the ship builder. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm hoping that it works. It should, in theory. It should be the same as everything else. But I've never done it before, so y'all are going to get to see me poke around in the files and try to find a specific weapon. But that's going to come like way later probably, because I don't want to mess with that just yet. I want to get everything else set up and then mess with that. So that'll be fun. I might, maybe if I can get my hands on some effect files and figure out how to do them, I might maybe mess with the effects of like the gun when it's shot, but I don't know. Come on, any day now. See, this is the part that's really annoying. Next time that we do this, I'll have this all set up and ready to go ahead of time. It's just for this one, I had to show you all this so that it made sense. Because if you don't do this, obviously you cannot do anything in Creation Kit until all this loads. So it's, yeah. Come on, Creation Kit. Any day now. Please load. Oh, it's about to load. Once that box disappears, that means it's about ready to go. It's being... There it goes. Okay, cool. So now Creation Kit is loaded. Like I said, you've got all your different boxes and everything. That's fine. So what we're going to do is, first things first, we're going to actually create a brand new plugin. That's what I like to do before anything else. And we're going to do that by hitting this right here, save. And you're going to get this little star.esp, and it's inside of your data folder, and that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to name this outrider.esp, and then and then we're just going to save it. So now if we go back into here, we have the Starfield ESM and we have our outrider.esp. This is going to be the main ESP for the whole mod. Everything that we do is going to be located in here. So, first thing is first, before we get too far into anything else, I've got notes. I've got all the different modules that are needed. I've got effects that might be needed. I've got positions of plugs for whenever we get to the interior bits. So, yeah, perhaps think about doing this, because this helps a lot. But first thing that we're going to do, let me go ahead and close that out. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look up brace 6-way. Okay. The first thing I almost always do is I just get the structural piece done, the shell that I like to do. That's normally the very first thing that I do. So as you can see, we have all these different things, and if I open up this one, there we go. That's a vanilla piece right there, and it's got all sorts of different information over here. Don't worry about that. What we want to do, we do not, let me repeat that, do not mess with any of this stuff if you are making a new item. If you're doing a replacer, then yeah, you can replace. But if you are making a brand new item from scratch, like we're doing, we're adding in a new ship into the game. What we want to do is we want this piece, this little co-SMS structure, Nova Brace 6-way. We want the pack-in, that's this little thing with a 9. Ship PI, SMod, structure Nova Brace 6-way. We want this, the ship snap SMod, the SMod structure Nova Brace, and then the SMS. Okay, that's what we want. We do not want this little 13 thing. We don't want that. And the reason I use this piece in specific is because it's easy. Everything's right here. When you look at brace 6-way, you get all your pieces. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and it can get kind of confusing when you're looking in the files. Oh, also over here, we have all sorts of stuff. I've got it set to all, so when I search in the text filter, it's searching the entirety of all of the game. All the different files in the game, it's searched. So what we want to do is we want to right click, and then we want to duplicate. We want to duplicate that, and notice it's got copy on the end of it. We want to duplicate and rename the packend. Don't ask me why you have to duplicate and rename, but you do. It's annoying. We want to duplicate that, duplicate the SMod, and duplicate our SMS. Okay. So now, in the copies, right, you see this thing? This is a copy. We're going to leave this co-SMS structure, and then right where it says Nova Brace 6-way and the rest of it, we're going to delete that. And we're going to rename this to Outrider Shell. And then down here in the vendor keywords, right click, delete. This tells it where to go. If there's nothing down here, it'll show up at all the vendors, which is what I want. And then we're just going to hit OK. Create a new form. No, because this is the new form. This is a copy. So no. And yes, we want to rename that. Now we're going to go here. Structure and Outrider underscore shell. We're going to hit OK. Am I sure I want to rename this object? Notice, this object is currently in use by 0 objects and 0 references. If this is in use by something, and you're just now replacing stuff, that means that's a vanilla asset, so be careful with that. But that's fine. Yes, we want to rename that. SMod structure, Outrider shell. Okay. Do I want to create a new form? No, I do not. Again, we have the copy. Outrider underscore shell. Hit OK. No, not a new form. And yes, that's fine. And then lastly, we have this right here. Why is this so big? Should not be that big. There we go. Structure, Outrider, shell. And then on this one, we're going to hit save. Again, it's going to ask if we want to make a new form. No. Okay. Now, so that we don't mess with anything else, we're going to type in Outrider. And there's our new forms right there. So, now what we need to do is we need to link all this together. Because right now, it's not linked. It's not going to make a new object. It's kind of odd. But if I go into this, you'll see it says SMS structure Nova Brace 6-way. That's this little thing right here. So we want this to link to this. So we're going to click on that. Maybe. There we go. Type in SMS underscore structure underscore O. There it is. Hit OK. Alright, that is now linked. We're going to hit OK. We're not going to mess with anything else with this. We'll do this bit next. There's a reason for it. Okay, so this is the actual object. So we want to go over here where it says model, and we want to edit. And we're going to edit again. And then inside of meshes, we want the outrider _ext. Hit OK, and voila. There it is. There's our lovely model that we made. So, yeah, and that looks good. All the textures are there. We are good to go. We're in business. So we're going to hit OK on that. We're going to go into the SMS. And we're going to change this from Nova Brace 6-way to Outrider Shell. When you do this, make sure that you click outside, because see, it didn't change, and then click on this. I don't know why it does that, but it does. We'll get into what this is here in a sec. We're going to hit save. And then... oh, right, okay. We're going to go back into this real quick. Our shell that we made. And see a snap template? We don't want that. Because this is a Nova, that's the Nova snap template. We want our Outrider shell snap template. We haven't messed with it yet. It's the same as the other one, as the Nova Brace 6-way, but we will mess with it here in a sec. We want that, because the snap template is what allows you to snap tabs and other items to your ship. So we're going to do that. We're going to hit OK. And then lastly, before we mess with the ship snap stuff, because it is a little bit complicated, we're going to go into the ship pack-in, that's this, and then we're going to hit, first off, we're going to change this, the name. We're going to name this YT2442 shell. Right, that is 2442, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so YT2442 shell. I'm going to hit OK. And we're going to reopen it. It's still there, good. And we're going to edit this in the render window. Alright, now as you can see, that's this. We don't want any of that. We don't want anything in here. So we're going to grab everything, and you can just click and then hit shift on your keyboard and click, and that'll select everything down here. See how these two things are linked? If I click on this, this stuff down here shows up. That's why I have this over here. You can look around by hitting shift, and then you can move your mouse and yeah, zoom in and out with your mouse wheel. You can also move around by hitting the middle mouse wheel button, like clicking on it, and you can move around. But anyways, we're going to select everything and then just hit delete. Am I sure that I want to delete this? Yes. I don't want any of this. Or just yes to all. It's fine. So now we actually want our structural piece that we made in here, just like that. And you can tell if it's oriented right because your engines should be facing towards the back. So we want this to be at 0. So we're going to right click, we're going to edit, and then we're going to go to the position and we're going to do 0, 0, 0. Okay. There we go. That is now more or less set up. Now the only thing that we need to do is our ship snap, which you can see. Here's our item, and I'm moving this around with just by left clicking. turn that down. It's a bit loud. I'm just left clicking and moving this around, and I can look at it and whatnot. Now, what I want, or what I'm going to want to do with this is, you see all these nodes here? If I go inside, that's these things. These are actually the pieces, or the things that a hab or reactor, whatever, this is what those pieces can snap to. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I do a lot of times is I get rid of everything except for the top. So I'll grab that. Don't want, let's delete. Hang on. Why am I not? Oh, there we go. Duh. Remove. Okay, so right click on it. My bad. I was trying to hit delete on the keyboard. That doesn't work. So we want to leave the top. Remove that. Remove. 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 Okay, so we only have one left. I know they didn't disappear, but let's just go ahead and hit OK. And then when we reopen it, now we only have the top thing done. The reason being, the reason I like doing this, think of this as a Lego piece. All of those different pieces, they snap. This will snap to another bottom snap piece. So the top connects to the bottom. So for me, it's easier for me to get this and kind of figure out where things are going to go, because I can imagine a hab going on top of this, because that's what I'm going to use this for. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the z-axis and we're going to put this to 0, because I just can't quite see. Okay, so we don't want 0. Let's try -3. That looks halfway decent. -2 maybe? There we go. I think that's probably going to be best, more than likely, and we'll probably end up messing with this a little bit more. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to use the y-axis. Okay, and we're going to do negative. What is it? -5 maybe? That looks about right. But notice they're in line with one another. I'm just kind of curious what all I can fit in here. Let me... hang on. Let me look at something real quick. So, because I always forget where everything goes, by the way. I always forget, but that's okay. If I type in... nope. Hab underscore Stroud. Okay, and then I go down here to the pack-ins. These are the Stroud habs right here. So there's your 1x1 habs right there. Here's the 2x1s, which that's what I'm wanting. I'm going to edit this in the render window real quick because I need to see how far apart these are. So I'm kind of curious. So let's edit. Let's see. So we're interested in the Y. So that's -4. Okay. And that's 4. So the difference, I believe, would be 8. Sounds about right. So they're 8 paces apart. Because if this is 0, 4 and 4 makes 8. Yeah. So, okay, now that we have that, we can go back to our Outrider, back to the ship snap, and then what we can do, because that's 0, so we can do -8. There we go. And I know not a whole lot's gonna fit in here. Oh, don't do that. I did not want to do that. There we go. Let's try to move this around. And then we're gonna go ahead, duplicate that again. And then we'll do Y, we're gonna do just straight up 8. There we go. So now we've got 3 snap points, and it should snap pretty easily into here. Let's get another one. Let's go ahead, let's duplicate that. And then we'll do 8 times 2 would be 16. I don't know if that's going to work. Nope. Yep, see, we don't want that. That's outside the ship. We want things inside of the ship. And that's what I was afraid of. So, we're going to go ahead, we're just going to remove that one. Hit OK. Yep. Okay, that looks like that might be all that we can get in here. Which is, I was kind of afraid of that, but it's fine. We can fit more, we should be able to fit more habs in here than just 3 or 4. It is a fairly small ship, but yeah. And that's all I'm going to do for the snap points. It's literally all I'm doing. So we're going to hit OK. And then, let's see. There is one more thing that we need to do with this, I think. Here we go. Okay, so we want to edit our material swaps, because this is what's going to make this thing colorable. And we want... What on earth? Where? What? Okay, that doesn't make... Where's all of our... That's annoying. Where's our stuff? It's all glass. I might have to mess with this later. This is how you do your color swaps. Basically, you find the different ones that you want. Let me open up Netscope real quick. That's annoying. File, open. Meshes, Outrider, open. See, if I didn't want this to be colorable, it'd be fine. But because I want it colorable, I thought, yeah. Primary, ship's light gray, painted metal. Yeah, that should be that should be showing up. Why do you not show up? What's this? Yeah, this should all be showing up. I don't know why it's not showing up in here. Are you serious? Don't do that. No. Oh, no, don't do that. Because, yeah, that should be definitely showing up. I don't know why it's not. Cancel. Yeah, I have no idea why that's not working. I'll figure it out later. Whatever. I really don't get that. But it's fine. We'll get the rest of this thing situated here. Oh, wait. Duh. I'm dumb. No, not that. This. Okay, we do need one more thing on this because I totally forgot. So we need to add a template node instance. Snap node ship. Believe it's an equipment. We'll do that one. Ah, yep. That is what we need, and that's almost perfect, too. Look at that. Okay, so I gotta rotate this. Let's try 90 degrees. Did that not do anything? About negative. Okay, let's try... Oh, come on, really? I don't know why this isn't working, but it should be. Yeah, see? I'm trying to get this flat. It's not wanting to work with me. Maybe it's 270. There it is. Yep, that's 270. Okay. So that is what I want. We'll bring it up a little bit. All right there. We'll do 5.10. Okay. So that's what we want. And notice how this says fore and aft. Fore should be facing the front of the ship, which it is. Aft should be facing the back, which again it is. So we're good there, and this is where our weapon's gonna sit, is on this thing. And so we want to go ahead and duplicate that, and we're going to set this to 0, and then we're going to put this at negative 5.10. Now is 90 going to work? Yes, it is. Wait, does that work? No. It's fine. It's fine. Let's do... There we go. Okay. So now we need to go down just like one more there, because I want the weapon to sit on this thingy or make it look like it's sitting on that. But yeah, there we go. Almost forgot about that little detail. I definitely want my weapons to work with this. We're gonna hit OK, and we're gonna save real quick just because I don't want to lose my progress. Okay. Now with this thing, this does not have collision right now, but we can fix that. We're going to duplicate... Oh, it's acting funny. There we go. We're going to duplicate our shell here. And we're going to rename this to ext_collision. And then we're going to edit, hit edit again, and we want the Outrider ext collision. Hit OK, and yeah, that just straight up disappeared. No, we do not want to make a new form, and yes, we want to keep that. So if I drag this in, you'll see this little cube. That's our cube that we used to make the collision. However, if I hit F4, there's the actual collision. There it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit edit on the cube, and we're going to do 0, 0, and 0. Hit OK, hit F4 again, and then F4, and ta-da! There's our collision. This thing now has proper collision, and it'll work both with this version and with the custom interior version. We don't have to make like a new collision object or anything like that. So this should now be done, with the exception of the painting or whatever, the coloring. I don't know why it's not working. It should have been working, but it's not. Oh, wait, hang on. Nope, I forgot one little thing. On the exterior collision, we do not want a step template. So we're going to go and we're going to click none. Click OK. Save. Okay, this should be done. This should now show up actually in-game. So what we're going to do, I'm going to save again because I'm paranoid. We're going to minimize, and I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause that, and we are going to launch Starfield because I want to make sure that my ship shows up as a craftable item and kind of see what all I can get away with crafting it real quick. Okay, so this is the kind of difficult, but open up your creations menu. It does have to load, so it's kind of annoying. Just give it a sec, see it's reloading. It's I don't like how they do this. I wish I could just get things to work. That'd be nice, but yeah. And hopefully things don't crash, because I've got the creation kit, plus my streaming stuff, plus this all going at the same time, and that might cause some issues. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go to load order. We're going to scroll all the way down, and we should have, yep, there it is. There's our new ESP that we just made. So I'm going to tick that on, and then we're going to go back. Back again, it'll say creation selections change, game will now reload, blah, 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 it's fine. Let it do its thing, it'll reload. Come on. There we go. Okay, and now we should be able to go... Oh yeah, I'm at anchor point. Why? I might have to make a quick trip to New Atlantis, so yeah, give me a minute. But this should work. There shouldn't be any issues with it, I hope. And I can test out different pieces as I go, because there's several different pieces you need. Right now we just have a structural piece and that's it. We haven't messed with like the landing bay. We haven't messed with the landing bay. We haven't messed with any of the reactor or grav drive shields, any of that. We're gonna go current. I don't want to deal with the save thing. If you do that, it's weird. So don't mess with that. Just always do current. Also keep in mind when you're developing a mod if there's any dependencies that are needed. Yeah, we're gonna have to hang on, I gotta go to New Atlantis real quick. I didn't think about this, my bad. Hang on. Alright, where is... There we go.
Yeah.
I've got some mods installed, so just give it a sec. It's kind of annoying, I know. Good for gameplay, not so much when I'm trying to like do stuff real quick. I will make a save when we get there so that it's set up and ready to go. I didn't think about this. This is my bad. New Atlantis is kind of like my proving grounds, and I check everything there. I might actually want to go to Aquila off stream, because that's probably where I'm going to put the ship to go for sale, because I know in Star Wars Genesis that's kind of the rebel area or whatever. And here comes Delta. Delta, go away. Hang on. There we go. Alright. And we're just gonna do the quick travel thingy real quick.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband.
Oh my... goodness, would you go away? I don't care.
Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis. Please.
Okay, we want that. I know, all the loading screens. It's fantastic, right? It's totally what we want. Come on. Okay.
I'm sorry. Heat leeches can turn into what?
Terramorphs. Giant carapace-encrusted tanks. Enter the new scanning. On our watch, no heat leech enters this city.
I don't like this.
Understood.
Alright.
Let's make it daytime real quick. Sorry. Wait. Okay, so now it's 1, so we want, it's like 8 o'clock. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so we want 7 hours. Okay. So now, what we're going to do is... Actually, we're not going to save yet. We're going to go here.
What can I do for you?
And let me see the
I'm sure
ships
you
that
can
you
buy
have for sale. Sure.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so now inside of our structural area, because that's where we put it, there should, if I did everything right... There we go, okay. Oh, there it is. I did not name this right. Why does it change everything? That's not cool. I don't want everything to change. That's not good. Oh, that's really annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some different... Yep, we gotta get different textures on this thing. That is not what I wanted at all. Oh, that is so annoying. I wanted to keep the red bits. But it is here, as you can see. So I should be able to get some habs in here. Let's get the Nova stuff, because why not? There we go. Oh wow, that is a lot smaller than I was expecting. Oof. Alright, that's fine. Let's do that. And then, where is this? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Ew, that's very unfortunate. Hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess with the snap points. Yep, I'm definitely gonna have to mess with the snap points. Dang, this is a lot smaller than I was expecting. But for now, we'll do that, as annoying as it is. Let's see. Yeah, that's really bad. Oops. I mean, I knew it was small, but I didn't realize how small it was. Ugh. I mean, I could scale it up. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's... Oh, that's so annoying. Whatever. Whatever. It doesn't even fit. It doesn't even fit a 2x2 in it. That's really lame. Oops. That's not good. Let's see. What about the weapons? Do the weapons work? That should work for sure. Yeah, that works. Yep, that's perfect. Because the idea, I guess I probably should have known better. My original idea was to get this to fit inside. And, I don't think that's not going to work. Obviously. That is not going to work. But it's in the game. Like I said, it's a bit messed up. But that's fine. We're going to cancel the modifications. Going to exit. Exit. You know what? No, we're not. No, we're not. Hang on. I do want to see...
to offload? Sure. How about it?
I want to see something quick. Let's get rid of everything, and then let's get a 1x1, and then let's get one of the really small cockpits. Where's my... There you are. Get that. Oh, I don't even know if I can put that on there. I'll make it Habs. Where's the... There it is. Come on. Dockers. Structural. Oof. Sure, we'll do that for now. Ugh, that's so bad. This is a lot smaller than I was expecting. I might have to go back in and like scale this thing up in Blender and like redo everything. Oh, that's so annoying. Dang it, I knew I probably should have gotten the Millennium Falcon for this thing. Oh well. That's alright. The custom interior version will be nice. Let's see. What else? What do we need? I know... Okay, we need a landing bay. Where is my... Oh, right. I can't put it on there. That's right. I cannot do that. Let me get... There we go. Okay, what else do we need? We need engine, grav drive, reactor, and a fuel tank. Okay. Okay, so we need an engine. We're just gonna get, we'll get that. Equipment, fuel tank, sure. Grav drive. Sure. That one. Okay. I'm going to try to get all this to work on here. I don't know if I can, though. I don't know if I have enough spots for it. Oh, just barely. There we go. How big is this thing? Yeah, that does seem... It does seem small. I mean, maybe it's not, and I'm just... I don't know. Seems really small to me. But I can say that it is at least in the game. I do want to check the collision real quick, make sure that worked. Pretty confident it did, but I always check. Yep. Collision for this thing works. Look at that. That is good. That is very good. Of course, this is clipping through, but you know, that's not going to happen in the final bill or final product. That's not going to be a thing. Here's the door. I'm a little bit confused on why it's kind of acting funny right there, but yeah. There's our lovely door and whatnot. That turned out nicely. Okay. I mean, it kind of worked. Like I said, smaller than I expected, but it's good enough for now. Wait, no, let's save. Okay. So that did in fact work. We're probably over time now, so I do apologize for that. Oh. But at least we have our item in the game. Like I said, I'm going to have to mess with the stupid... Actually, you know what? I think I might know what the problem is. I might be able to keep this and just switch out some simple stuff. And by the way, this is why you want two different meshes for your collision and your shell, because if I had the collision on this thing and already had the materials, I'd have to run it back through 3DS. And I really, really do not want to do that. That's just not what I want to mess with. But I might be able to fix this, maybe, but we'll have to kind of play it by ear, and we'll have to see what's up with it. But that's going to be it for this video. I was hoping to get more stuff done. I'll be back later once I get this situated, and I'll show y'all how I got it situated. So yeah. Alright, thank y'all for watching. That's how, I mean, at least y'all can start adding in custom stuff now, right? Y'all can do that. That's a thing that can be done. But thank y'all for watching.